One of the things I love to do is figure out how stories work. After watching season 1 of the Andor series, I've been thinking a lot about how hope is an integral part of the story. Heads up, there may be minor spoilers moving forward, so just letting you know. The Andor series is a prequel to the events of the Rogue One Star Wars film. That film's ending dovetailed into the first film of the original trilogy, Episode 4, A New Hope. In the Andor series, we see protagonist Cassian Andor, played by Diego Luna, as his journey leads him to the adventures in Rogue One. He's very much an imperfect protagonist. He doesn't act like a selfless, noble hero. He's a mercenary. While thinking about the story of Season 1, I realized that hope only exists when there is the opposite entity, which could be cynicism or despair. In this era of the Star Wars universe, the Empire is growing in strength, and the rebellion is barely in its infancy. So when characters like Andor, Luthen, and Mon Mothma find themselves not aligning with the Empire's agenda, they're going to look for something more than what the world offers. They have to hope for something more. Interestingly, Andor often comes off as cynical, not trusting towards others, and he acts defensively to protect his own interests. The tone of the series is markedly different than other Star Wars films and series, with a more present sense of gritty despair. Viktor Frankl has this quote: "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." If a character has hope, he can choose his attitude to his circumstances and take an action. This moral choice can create goals to pursue, objectives to aim for. That's an important part of storytelling, to orient your character with the direction to the future so you can create a character arc. I think hope can exist within the context of a relationship to someone or something. In the original Star Wars trilogy, there was the Force, and we could have hope that there would always be a balance between the dark side and the light. It's a system that existed as an objective truth. As a cross-reference, in the Narnia series, the Pevensey children meet Aslan the lion, and he gives them hope for a better future. Aslan is the godlike figure in the Narnia world, and the children's relationship with him inform their choices. How the Andor characters think about hope reveals their worldviews. How we think about our hope can also reveal our own worldviews. For example, do we believe that there is something beyond what we see with our own eyes? If our understanding is based in the physical realm, could there be a supernatural realm that our physical eyes can't comprehend? As humans, we yearn to move towards something. It's hard to be stuck in an existential, stagnant life. I think deep down inside, we want to know and believe that our lives are meant for something more than our initial impulses or what we see with our own eyes. If we think about hope, or if we think of hope as having faith in the things that are unseen or are unrealized in the present moment, what is the relationship to the something or someone that can anchor that hope? In Andor, I think we see characters wrestling with a future they don't see yet, and the relationships to anchor that hope are not with the Force, but potentially with each other. They're either depending on each other to come through, or they're at cross purposes with each other. So hope helps us to confront our doubts and to ask questions about things that we don't fully know, especially when we are facing obstacles or are in conflict with other characters or forces in the story. And I think these are great areas to start building the inner life of a character when crafting a story.